There was a time when Britain stood proud as one of the richest countries in the world. People looked up to it, admired its power, and believed life there was full of opportunities. But today, that picture has changed, and not for the better. Experts are now saying something shocking. Britain is no longer a rich country. That's a hard truth to swallow, and it hurts. Life for many people in the UK has become a daily struggle. Prices are going up fast, but wages are not. Many families are barely getting by. Some can't afford enough food or heating, while others are drowning in debt. It's sad to see how quickly living standards have fallen. Once full of hope, millions now feel forgotten. But what happened? How did a powerful, respected nation fall so far behind other wealthy countries? In this video, we'll explain the 10 biggest reasons why Britain is facing such a deep economic crisis. We'll talk about broken healthcare, the rising cost of living, low pay, and even how the housing market has become a nightmare. If you're wondering why everything feels so hard in the UK these days and what it might mean for you and your family, you won't want to miss this. Please watch until the very end. If this video helps you understand what's going on, click like and subscribe for more honest stories about the world we live in. Let's begin. Number 1. For many years now, wages in the UK have barely gone up. This means that even though people are working hard, their pay isn't rising fast enough to keep up with the growing cost of everything else. Prices keep climbing, food, bills, rent, but salaries stay the same. It's painful and frustrating. Research shows that if wages in the UK had grown like they did in the United States, the average British worker would be earning £4,000 more each year. Just imagine what a difference that would make. But instead, many families in Britain are falling behind. Shockingly, households in countries like Slovenia and Malta are now better off than many in the UK. While basic living costs have exploded, people's incomes have stayed flat. This means families have less money to spend, to save, or to invest in their future. Many can't afford holidays, can't buy a home, and some even skip meals or turn off the heating to save money. It's heartbreaking. With no real increase in wages, life gets harder. Hopes shrink. Dreams feel out of reach. This isn't just about money, it's about quality of life. When people can't improve their living standards, the whole economy starts to suffer. Britain, once full of promise, now feels stuck, and many are asking, when will things finally get better? Number 2. Since the big financial crash in 2008, the UK has had a serious problem. It just isn't getting enough done for the amount of work people put in. This is called low productivity. It means workers are doing their best, but the results aren't growing the way they should. And when productivity doesn't grow, something really sad happens. Wages stay low, and the economy doesn't improve. From 2007 to 2024, the UK has ranked very poorly among the world's richest nations, the G7, when it comes to productivity growth. This is a big red flag. It shows that many businesses haven't been investing in new tools, better technology, or smarter ways of working. People are stuck doing the same things the same way, and that slows everyone down. Without higher productivity, there's no room for higher pay, no better job offers, and no strong future. It feels like a country working hard but running in place. And while other advanced nations are moving ahead, creating wealth and raising living standards, Britain is being left behind. This isn't just about numbers, it affects real lives. People can't earn more, can't improve their future, and can't dream of a better tomorrow. The nation's financial strength is slowly fading, and wealth per person is shrinking. It's a quiet crisis, but one that hurts deeply, especially for young people who want to build something better. Number 3. Life in the UK has become painfully expensive. The cost of almost everything, food, rent, heating, has gone up so much, but people's paychecks haven't kept up. Every week, families are finding it harder to stretch their money. What used to be enough now barely covers the basics. It's heartbreaking to see parents worry about putting food on the table or heating their homes in winter. In big cities like London, rent has become a nightmare. Some people are forced to spend more than half of what they earn just to have a place to live. That leaves almost nothing for food, transport, or saving for emergencies. Energy bills have also jumped sharply, mostly because of problems in the global supply chain and the rising cost of energy worldwide. Even turning on the lights or using the heater now feels like a luxury for some. Inflation has taken away the real value of money. What 10 pounds could buy just a few years ago now buys much less. And this rising cost of living doesn't just hurt the poor, it's pushing middle-class families to the edge too. People are cutting back on everything. No more holidays, fewer meals out, even skipping basic needs just to pay the rent. This isn't just an economic issue, it's emotional. It's exhausting. Families are under constant stress. The quality of life in the UK is falling fast, and many feel like they're working harder just to stay in the same place, or worse, falling behind. It feels unfair and deeply sad, especially for those who once believed they were safe from this kind of struggle. Number 4. Since 2010, the UK government started cutting back on spending to try and lower the country's debt. These were called austerity measures. The idea was to save money and fix the economy, but what actually happened broke people's lives instead. The government reduced funding for really important things like hospitals, schools, and help for the poor. And those cuts hit the most vulnerable people the hardest. Many families who depend on public services suddenly found themselves with less support. The healthcare system became stretched thin. Teachers had fewer resources. Social services were weakened. People who were already struggling began to fall through the cracks. It was like the safety net had been ripped apart. Wages for public workers like nurses, teachers, and emergency staff were frozen or kept low, even while prices for everything else kept rising. Benefits for those in need were cut down, and projects to improve roads, housing, and other important parts of life were delayed or forgotten. It was a painful time for millions of people. The truth is, while the government may have wanted to protect the economy, it ended up creating more suffering and greater inequality. Poor and working-class families felt abandoned. Today, over a decade later, the damage is still there, lingering like a scar. Austerity didn't lift the UK up, it pulled it further down. And it's one of the key reasons why Britain is now facing such deep economic decline. Number 5. Once, the UK's welfare system was a strong safety net, a way to protect people who were struggling, jobless, or sick. But today, that safety net is full of holes. Over the years, it has grown weaker and thinner. The money people get when they're unemployed or in need is now too small to even cover the basics like food, rent, or keeping the heat on in winter. It's heartbreaking. While the cost of living keeps going up, groceries, bills, housing, these benefits have barely changed. People are left stuck, unable to move forward or even survive comfortably. And the services that once offered help are now stretched too thin, barely able to keep up with the rising demand. What's even more shocking is that, compared to other wealthy countries, Britain now gives some of the lowest financial support to its own people. Families are falling behind, more people are being forced into homelessness, more are lining up at food banks just to eat. It's not just numbers, these are real people, real lives being torn apart. This slow erosion of welfare has made life heavier and harder for millions. It's like the country has turned its back on those who need it most. The very system that was meant to catch people when they fell is now letting them crash to the ground. Number 6. The National Health Service, or NHS, was once something the people of Britain were truly proud of. It stood as a symbol of care, hope, and support for everyone, no matter their income. But today, that proud system is breaking. It's heartbreaking. Hospitals are overwhelmed, doctors and nurses are overworked, and there simply isn't enough money or staff to help everyone in time. People are now waiting for months, sometimes even years, for appointments, surgeries, or tests. Some can't get the treatment they urgently need. Imagine being in pain, needing help, and being told you have to wait. That's the painful reality for many right now. Some people have even died from conditions that could have been treated if help had come sooner. It's not just sad, it's terrifying. Because of these delays, more and more people are turning to private healthcare, paying huge sums of money just to get basic treatment. Others are so desperate, they travel to other countries for medical help. But what about those who can't afford that? They're left to suffer in silence, feeling forgotten. The NHS is meant to protect us, but as it struggles, families are left feeling helpless and scared. Trust in the system is fading fast. Healthcare is one of the most important parts of a good life, and when it fails, everything else starts to fall apart too. People worry not only about their health, but also about the heavy cost of getting the care they once got for free. It's a quiet crisis that's hurting millions, and it's only getting worse. Number 7. It's hard to believe that one country can feel like two different worlds. In London, people walk past tall buildings, fancy shops, and big businesses. Life there feels fast, full of chances, full of hope. But outside the capital, especially in towns across the North and the Midlands, things feel very different. In those places, the streets are quieter, jobs are fewer, and the energy that once filled those towns seems to have faded away. For years, these regions have been slowly forgotten. Factories closed, industries disappeared, and money that was once poured into helping local communities just stopped coming. People who once had stable jobs and proud working towns now face unemployment, low pay, and limited opportunities. It's like the world moved on and left them behind. And that hurts deeply, especially for the older generation who remember when their towns were full of life. The government keeps promising to level up and fix these divides, but for many people living outside of the wealthy South, those promises sound empty. They've waited and waited for real change, but it hasn't come. Meanwhile, the rich areas get richer, the poor areas stay stuck, and the gap between them grows even wider. This is more than just an economic issue, it's a human one. Families are being broken apart as young people are forced to move far away just to find work. Entire communities are being drained of hope. It's not just unfair, it's heartbreaking. Everyone deserves a chance no matter where they live. But in today's Britain, some are getting every chance while others are being left to struggle in silence. Number 8. Education in the UK used to be something people could rely on, a way to dream bigger, rise up, and build a better life. But now that dream is slipping away for many. Years of budget cuts have slowly but surely broken down the system. Schools are overcrowded, classrooms are stuffed with too many students, and teachers are being paid far too little for the enormous pressure they face. It's not just a number problem, it's affecting real children, real futures. In poorer neighborhoods, the situation is even worse. These schools often don't have enough books, computers, or even basic supplies. Students in these areas are being left behind through no fault of their own. It feels unfair because it is. When children can't get the support they need, how can they ever hope to catch up? It's heartbreaking to see so many young minds full of potential being held back simply because of where they were born. A university once seen as a ticket to a better life is now something many can't afford. Tuition fees have shot up, leaving students drowning in debt before they even get their first job. And for what? Many graduates are finding it nearly impossible to land decent jobs, no matter how hard they worked. The promises made to them that education would open doors now feel like lies. This growing gap in education is tearing the country apart. It's making the rich richer and the poor poorer. Children from well-off families get the best chances, while those from struggling homes are often left stuck in place. The idea that anyone can succeed if they just work hard, it's becoming harder to believe, and that hurts. Because without fair education, how can we ever build a fair future? Number 9, imagine working hard every day, saving every bit you can, and still realizing that owning your own home feels like a distant dream. That's the painful truth for millions of people in the UK today, especially the younger generation. House prices have shot up like never before, but wages have stayed the same. It's shocking and heartbreaking to think that something as basic as a roof over your head has now become a luxury for many. In big cities, the situation is even worse. Rent is so high that many people are handing over more than half of their paycheck just to keep a roof above them. That leaves very little left for food, bills, or saving for the future. And while the government tried to help with programs like Help to Buy, those efforts didn't fix the problem. Instead, they often made things worse by pushing prices even higher. So what happens to people who can't afford it? Many are forced to keep living with their parents, even into their 30s. Others have no choice but to move to places far from work or where life feels less safe, less hopeful. It's not just an inconvenience, it's deeply discouraging. Young couples delay starting families, people give up on dreams. The stress eats away at their peace of mind. This housing crisis is a big reason why life feels harder now. It's not just about money, it's about dignity, independence, and the basic human need for a place to call home. And when so many people can't afford that, something is seriously broken. Number 10. For many years, the UK focused more on growing its economy and often turned a blind eye to the damage being done to the environment. This is a hard truth to face because pollution in big cities has gotten worse, making the air harder to breathe and shortening people's lives. The health problems from this pollution are undeniable. More and more people are suffering. The beautiful green spaces that once helped keep the air clean and our minds at peace are disappearing. And the risks from climate change keep rising. It's shocking to think that even though we all know about the dangers, the UK still relies so heavily on fossil fuels. The switch to cleaner energy has been painfully slow, making the problem even worse. This destruction of the environment doesn't just harm our health, it also harms the economy. As the world moves toward cleaner, more sustainable ways of living, the UK falls further behind. And what about the future? If the UK doesn't take stronger action now, future generations will face an even worse reality. It's not just about today, it's about what we leave behind for those who come after us. We've already seen the UK suffer in so many ways: economic struggles, rising costs, weak policies, and growing inequality. It's hard to ignore the truth. Things are not getting better, and the environment is part of the reason why. There is hope, though. There are solutions to all of this, but they require bold changes and real leadership. The question is, will the UK step up? Can they turn things around before it's too late? The future is in their hands.